Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Definitely save that, buy something for myself, including house, gold, or something I can invest in.
Marriage or mortgage? Couples prioritize home ownership over a walk down the aisle.
You know, Sydney is going to be alive with music this weekend, right? Like every venue, every restaurant.
And the stage is set. Cape Breton prepares to celebrate the best in East Coast music.
It's a cooler May night ahead for the Maritimes with a risk of frost for some areas.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopales. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, ring or real estate. That's what many young couples are considering these days, having to choose between a dream wedding or a dream home. As CTV's Emma Convey shows us, a new study finds Canadians would rather downsize their wedding than their homeowner aspirations. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Maria. Traditions are changing, especially in today's housing market and economy. Maritimers I spoke with today say they now have to prioritize which big purchase makes the most sense for them.
Till death or debt do us part. Young Canadian couples are struggling with just that, to buy a home or spend on a wedding.
The old days, the wedding was the first thing you can do, but I mean, in 2026, I would definitely do the house and later on do the wedding.
Buying a house should come first. Make sure that you're like financially stable, like yourself.
I want to do a very, tiny, just minimalist sort of wedding, inviting just friends and family, not spending a lot. That seems to be a common sentiment, as a Royal LePage survey found 79% of Canadians currently not married would consider requesting money for a down payment instead of a traditional wedding gift. When asked if Atlantic Canadians would scale back on a wedding to put money down on a home,
55% of them said yes, definitely, and 41% said yes, maybe. So the net in Atlantic Canada is that they would, 95% of people would scale back on their wedding or forego a wedding to buy a home. Right. And so it's quite high in Atlantic Canada.
For Atlantic Canadians that are already married, 61% say they would have foregone or significantly scaled back their wedding to put money down on a payment.
The idea of, doing something that's financially sound and is going to build wealth, it's great. People have made good financial decisions or are looking to make a good financial decision and get some help with a big purchase.
It's better to be investing in the real estate, and after the end life would be the more better.
Owning a house right now is really, really difficult, like in and of itself, and then adding on a wedding, that'd be a lot.
Which comes first is a conversation realtor Ryan Powell often has with his clients.
With someone right now who has put off their home search because they are saving and planning to get married in the fall, so it is definitely something that first-time home buyers are considering. Do we want to get married first and then buy a house, or buy a house first and then get married? So every situation is different, but I also have someone else who could have bought a second property but decided to spend in the neighborhood of $60,000 on their wedding.
Maria, previous generations had more flexibility to pursue these major milestones at the same time, but today's buyers seem to be more focused on long-term stability. Advice from these realtors is to educate yourself on the costs associated with all options. Maria.
Thank you. Good advice tonight. Thank you, Emma. CTV's Emma Convey for us in the News Center. That actually brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, which would you prioritize? Your options are dream wedding or dream home. Go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. Todd Batt is standing by on a very busy news evening in the Maritimes. Hi, Todd.
Hi there, Maria. We are live tonight at a wildfire that broke out this afternoon in the Lake Echo area of Nova Scotia. That is just east of Dartmouth. It is being fought right now by 15 pieces of equipment. The Halifax Regional Fire Department. Several streets have been blocked off. Our crew there says you can certainly smell smoke in the area. We will bring you details at 6 o'clock. A new report says the RCMP failed in their handling of a Nova Scotia woman's case involving sexual assault by a neighbor. That same neighbor admitted killing the woman weeks later. Susie Butlin died in her home in 2017. Coming up at 6, we'll have more on the crime and the serious failures and how the case was handled. We will also hear from the newly appointed Assistant Commissioner of the RCMP in Nova Scotia. New Brunswick paramedics will now be able to give a life-saving drug to people who are having a heart attack. The province is spending more than $2 million to fund the medication, which works quickly to dissolve blood clots. We'll have the details for you in your newscast. Okay, let's bring in CTV meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell, because you're going to talk about frost warnings, yet we have these conditions that are allowing a wildfire not far from Halifax.
Sure, absolutely. And the two, of course, aren't exclusive. You can have very dry conditions around the Maritimes and a risk of frost. So speaking of conditions around the Lake Echo area, a positive development was the temperatures came down from yesterday into today. Yesterday, that area would have been sitting up into the high 20s, probably feeling into the low 30s with the humidity. Now, probably closer to around 16 degrees. But the air itself is quite dry. Relative humidity values on the lower side between around 30 and 60%. And there's not a lot of wet weather in the forecast here coming up over the next couple of days. In fact, it's going to be mainly clear nights and mostly sunny days heading into and through the upcoming weekend. Taking a look at the winds, you'd like to see these a little bit lighter as well when you're dealing with any wildfires. They're out of the northwest. They're breezy by our standards here in the Maritimes. They're being sustained mostly between around 10 and in some cases up to around 25 kilometers per hour. We're getting some occasional wind gusts in the range of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Now, the winds are going to be diminishing a bit in their strength as we make our way through the night, so that'll be a positive again when it comes to the fire situation. As we take a look at things on radar and satellite, we do have a little bit of broken cloud cover around parts of Nova Scotia, but as we make our way through the night, most of that is going to be clearing away. And because we have this cooler air in place, it's going to allow for some low temperatures to head down in some cases towards the low single digits. So a clear sky, lighter winds, and some cooler overnight temperatures. That is a recipe for frost, and there are some frost advisories in effect for parts of the Maritimes. We will go through those when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
So much to talk about. Thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you in just a bit. Right now, though, a New Brunswick teen is preparing for the opportunity of a lifetime. As CTV's Laura Brown shows us, she's set to compete against other young chefs at the National Skills Competition.
And we cook it 80% of the way, and then we flip it over.
17-year-old Georgia Eastwood has the recipe memorized.
We also only season it with salt to let the burger really shine.
The teen carefully pieces together the makings of a Wagyu beef burger, a signature plate at this restaurant in Mactaquac, New Brunswick.
Cheers.
Cheers. No wonder it's a fan favorite. After gigs in lawn care, dishwashing, and as a cleaner, Eastwood found herself applying for a summer job at this restaurant as a 15-year-old. Initially thinking about a career in law enforcement, it was here where she quickly rose the ranks, now the sous chef and supervisor. Perhaps it was fate. Eastwood is the fourth-generation cook in her family.
It feels pretty good knowing that I was the one cooking that got the restaurant the good review or the good comment.
She's soon going to show off her culinary skills on a national stage. Eastwood won the right to represent New Brunswick at the Skills Canada competition in Toronto at the end of May. So she's been practicing her menu writing and culinary math, finishing her high school classes, and working as much as possible at this restaurant. The executive chef says it was meant to be.
I could tell right away. I think I knew before she knew that she was meant to be in the kitchen.
No matter what happens at the competition, Eastwood has already secured her spot in a culinary program on Prince Edward Island in the fall, hoping she'll find her way back to this kitchen afterward. Her advice for teens trying to find their way?
Try as much as you can to really figure it out, because that's what I did. But if you really love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. So find that job, do what you love, and that's what I'm doing. So.
Laura Brown, CTV News, Mactaquac, New Brunswick.
Good advice, and that burger looked good too. By the way, Georgia is headed to Toronto on May 26th, and the competition is on the 28th. Way to go, and good luck. All right, taking a break, but first a preview of a couple of the stories still to come on CTV News at 5.
Hey, it's Emily from Halifax Seed, and it is time for lawn care. That's coming up on Garden Guide.
Hi, I'm Crystal Guerin, and today we will be revealing the winners of the QE2 Home Lottery. Could it be you? Find out next on CTV News at 5. A night of music, heart, and hope. The RWK Telethon Tribute Show featuring Neon Dreams, Renee Smith, Wolf Castle, Ian Janes, and more. Celebrate RWK patients, families, and community. Saturday, May 30th at 7 p.m. on CTV. Time now to announce the winners of the QE2 Home Lottery. I'm joined by Susan Mullen, President and CEO of the QE2 Foundation. And wow, what a day.
It's a great day, Crystal, and we're going to make 3 people very happy.
Well, before we do, let's talk about how this lottery really does help everybody.
That's right. You're helping invest in healthcare in Nova Scotia. Diagnostic imaging, robots, blanket warmers, doesn't matter. You're investing in healthcare.
Perfect. Everybody's a winner when it comes to transforming healthcare. All right, let's get to specific winners now. First, the 50-50.
We have the 50-50 winner taking home $909,787.50, and the ticket number is 50190443. James H. Roberts from New Glasgow. Congratulations.
There you go, James.
Very exciting.
Okay, all right, next up, the Oakfield Show Home worth $1.4 million plus $25,000 cash.
That's right, and the winner of the Oakfield Show Home is ticket number 10073780, Darren King from Stellarton.
Wow.
Woo!
Congrats, Darren.
Congrats.
And then
Finally.
this $1.6 million show home in Fall River plus $25,000 cash.
That's right, and what a stunning show home, and the winner of the grand prize Fall River Show Home 10027103, Jameson Gillis from Dartmouth. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, fantastic, Susan. Okay, what about the thousands of other winners?
QE2homelottery.com on June 3rd will have a full list of prize winners. Thank you, Nova Scotia.
Well, thank you, Susan and Crystal, and congratulations to all the winners. Wow.
Yeah, big congratulations.
Outstanding. All right, congratulations on the last couple of days. We've had beautiful weather, but things are a little bit of changing a little bit today.
Yeah, I mean, temperatures came way down compared to yesterday. A little bit in the cooler side in areas of Cape Breton. Beautiful, though. We're looking out here at Sydney. Things have really come into bloom as we've gone throughout this week. And, of course, we've got the ECMA weekend ahead for Cape Breton. I'll have more in the forecast after the break.
The Garden Guide is brought to you by Halifax Seed, growing for 160 years.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. We've got another edition of the Garden Guide for you with Emily Trigano from Halifax Seed. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
I am so excited about this because it's a real sign of the season. It's time to get that lawn looking its best.
Absolutely. So, you know, some lawns, mine especially, really took a beating over the winter. A lot of thatch that we really had to rake up. So that's the kind of the dead grass layer that's knitted through the new grass that's coming up, all the things. So now's the time, get out, rake up any dead thatch, and take stock of maybe what happened over the winter. So we had a lovely infestation of voles that ran through some of our yard here. They seem to have found a new home, which is great. But we're left with the destruction.
Right.
So what do you do now? So, you know, we're gonna use a little bit of fresh topsoil. We'll put that down, rake that through, add in a grass seed, a little bit of fertilizer, and that'll come back pretty quickly. So when it comes to lawn care, and if you're putting new seed down, the most important piece to know, do research on, and understand is what variety you're putting down. So do you have a really shady backyard? You should use a blend that is going to serve, you know, shaded areas well. Do you have a lot of kids or dogs running around? Any high traffic? If you're just, you know, if you're looking to throw something down at a campground or cottage. So really making sure you have the right blend for the right area of the property.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And sometimes you might go in there and just grab the cheapest bag, but you're not going to get what you need perhaps.
Absolutely. So putting the right seed down in the right place, that is always number one. Make sure you're fertilizing. So just like in our gardens, grass needs food to grow. So when grass is actively growing, so when it's green, especially in the spring and the fall, that's when it's uptaking the most nutrients. So that's when you want to make sure you have a good fertilizer down. I always like to start my season with a nice Scott's fertilizer. It's going to go right to the roots and provide a quick green up. And then I move to more of a professional blend fertilizer, like a 3409. So something that's going to be a little bit more slow release and release throughout the summer with environmental conditions. So it just creates a really nice, healthy soil. The other thing that we're going to do, because we are in Atlantic Canada and we do have really acidic soils, is lime. So Liming's really important. It's going to help raise the pH in the soil and provide a healthy start to all of your grass.
And you only need to do that once?
So I like to do it in the spring and the fall.
Okay.
We recommend doing it twice.
We'll remind you in the fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week.
See you then.
Well, I do have something interesting to start with for the gardeners in the region, but just before that, let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. And for that, we're going to go to a view over the Halifax Harbor for today. It was a very sunny day, as you can see, but temperatures, of course, came down. And more seasonable feel to the air around the Maritimes today. None of those high temperatures up into the high 20s and low 30s. That northwest wind and a little flow of air coming in off Hudson Bay down through Quebec and into the Maritimes, putting on the brakes to those record-setting high temperatures. All right, let's start off, though, with what I wanted to talk about. This is a heads up for the gardeners. We do have frost advisories out for a good portion of the Maritimes for tonight, basically all across New Brunswick and across much of Nova Scotia. I would even say for some interior areas of Prince Edward Island, even though there isn't a frost advisory in effect, there is at least a low risk of maybe a little bit of patchy frost. Interior areas, though, not around the coastal areas. And coastal areas should be pretty safe as well around both New Brunswick as well as Nova Scotia. Clear sky tonight. Some low temperatures head down to low single digits. Winds becoming lighter. That is a recipe for a risk of frost. And that's happening as we have an area of high pressure that's beginning to build in from the west. This high pressure system, which is currently centered over the Great Lakes, that's going to be the weather system that's basically in control over weather here in the Maritimes as we move through the end of this week and into the upcoming weekend. A lot of clear nights in the forecast, a lot of sunny days here. As we take a look at things on radar, not much is showing up. We do have a little bit of broken cloud cover, especially around the province of Nova Scotia, but that cloud cover is expected to clear as we make our way towards midnight. The overnight hours, mostly clear, a little bit on the cooler side. Got that potential of some frost developing for some areas, and that's how we start the day on Friday. Moving from Friday morning into Friday afternoon, it continues to be sunny across the region. Very clear conditions extending into Friday evening and Friday night. That high pressure system still in place for the start of the weekend, so Saturday is another sunny one for the Maritimes. Taking a look at the winds in the forecast as we make our way through tonight into tomorrow, they remain out of that northwest direction. They're a little bit breezy out there now. We still have some gusts, 30, 40 kilometers per hour. Those wind gusts diminish as we make our way towards midnight. But tomorrow, as we move from the morning into the afternoon, the wind speeds pick back up. So once again, we'll have some breezy conditions in the afternoon. Lots of gusts in the range of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. A few could peak closer to the range of 40 to 50, especially around locations in the northeast of New Brunswick as well as Cape Breton. Taking a look at the low temperatures in the forecast for tonight. So we have lows that could be as chilly as between -2 and +2 for northern areas of New Brunswick. The remainder of that province with some low temperatures between around 0 and 3 degrees. Down to around 4 degrees for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island for tonight, and low temperatures for Nova Scotia, mostly in the range of 1 to 6 degrees. So anytime start getting down towards those low single digits, that risk of frost is going to increase, and hence the advisories. We could also see some frost advisories in effect for parts of the Maritimes for Friday night and into Saturday morning. Similar conditions expected. In the forecast for tomorrow, well, here's all that sunshine and high temperatures in the province of New Brunswick. That'll be mostly between 14 and 18 degrees. Still remains a little bit cooler for Prince Edward Island. Most of the high temperatures between 10 and 14. Same goes for Cape Breton, eastern parts of mainland Nova Scotia. Most of the highs tomorrow will be in the low teens. And then we're looking at high temperatures for the remainder of Nova Scotia between 14 and 17. Might as well take a look at Saturday's forecast while we're at it. That high pressure system is still in place. Very sunny day. Temperatures come up a few degrees. We're looking at highs in New Brunswick getting up between 16 and 20. 12 to 14 degrees for Prince Edward Island. Eastern areas of Nova Scotia, 11 to 15 degrees. The remainder of Nova Scotia with highs of 15 to 19. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 3-year-old Cohen Shepherd from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Cohen has sent us a drawing of a lovely rainbow and looks like a nice heart-shaped cloud above it. Thank you, Cohen. And weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV. Weather watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, P3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. After the break, East Coast music takes center stage.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Sydney, where the East Coast Music Awards have taken over the city's downtown. We'll bring you some of the sights and, more importantly, the sounds in this story that's coming up.
Having a real in-person East Coast Music Awards in Cape Breton has been a long time coming. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, not only is the downtown alive with the sights and sounds, but some big-name Cape Bretoners are up for some big awards, too.
For the first time in a decade, the East Coast Music Awards have taken over downtown Sydney.
We've been coming to the ECMAs wherever they are for the last 10 years or so.
This couple from Florenceville, Bristol, New Brunswick arrived here today. The last Cape Breton ECMAs were a virtual year during COVID, so they have been waiting a while to experience the festival in a place known for fiddle music and foot stomping.
Absolutely. You know, Cape Breton punches above its weight in the music world.
Well, I mean, as a lot of locals know, it took us a long time to get to this point.
This brew pub opened only 6 months ago. This ECMA weekend, it is a home base of sorts for live music, and it should be plenty busy.
So for this to kind of be like the biggest event in Sydney for this year, I think, and us to be a part of it, it's really exciting.
You know, Sydney is going to be alive with music this weekend, right? Like every venue, every restaurant.
The new executive director of the East Coast Music Association is a former member of Great Big Sea, so he knows a real kitchen party type atmosphere when he sees one.
That authenticity, that sincerity, man, we have in spades.
One of the signature events of this year's ECMA weekend is happening tonight here at Sydney's Centre 200, with the Gala Awards show including a number of Cape Breton artists among the top nominees.
Like our local hero, Goldie Boutillier, Lisa Aaron, you know, Nick from Newfoundland. We've got the Barry McNeil's legends receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award.
As for why he's encouraging people to come downtown and take in a few tunes, he says it's better than staying home and taking, well, a great big seat.
Our competition now, it's not other bands or sports or that, it's the couch and the phone, right? So our whole thing is about remember what we have here.
The 2026 ECMAs in Sydney wrap up on Sunday. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
And it's going to be a time.
Yes,
I can guarantee it. Congratulations to all the nominees. Yeah. All right, Kaylin, how's the weather looking for the weekend?
Well, coming up on CTV News at 6, we're going to talk a little bit more about frost because we do have some cooler nights ahead. And also, we're going to talk about the forecast for the upcoming hurricane season.
Ooh, excellent. We'll see you at 6. I'll see you tomorrow. The national news is next. Good night.